the 15 most beautiful tiaras in the world. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel and like it. Thank you.
The sapphire tiara belongs to the royal family of the Netherlands. Today it is known that it was ordered in 1881 from the Vita Israel Company for 100,000 guilders, about 1 million euros. The name of the jeweller is unknown. The design was based on sketches by Oscar Masson in 1867, Chais. Interestingly, the sketches from 1881, Fig. 2, are in the archives of the court jewellers Van Kempen and Vos, and not in the archive of the Royal House in The Hague. The reason for this could be that in 1928 they received an order to redesign the tiara. The archives do not disclose the details of the order, but it is likely that the gold frame was replaced with a less heavy and more versatile platinum one. Original drawings were needed to perform such a rework. And this may be the reason that they are now stored in the archives of Van Kempen and Vos. In 2013, Steltman Jewelers redesigned the tiara again. An additional arc was added to the base to make the row of sapphires more visible and to reduce or better distribute the weight of the tiara on the head. In addition, the central upper element was replaced with a single diamond, which reduced the height of the tiara, and it can be returned. The central sapphire can also be removed and worn as a brooch. Tiara with pearl drops of Princess Charlotte of Monaco. This tiara was created by Cartier Jewelers in 1949 as a wedding gift to Princess Charlotte, mother of Prince Rainier, husband of Grace Kelly, grandmother of Prince Albert. It was a gift from her husband, Count Pierre de Polignac, Prince Pierre of Monaco, Duke of Valentinois. Platinum, white gold, pearls and diamonds. Princess Charlotte wore a tiara at the event before Grace and Rainier's wedding. There are no images of Princess Grace wearing a tiara except for one single painting. And since Grace never wore a tiara in public, many assumed that it passed directly to her daughter, Caroline. It is said that Princess Charlotte did not approve of Grace, so perhaps she did not leave her daughter-in-law any of her jewellery. Today, at exhibitions showing this tiara, the owner is Prince Albert, or the princely house of Monaco. Originally owned by Queen Maria II of Portugal, 1819-1853, this tiara with diamonds and sapphires was part of a set that also included a brooch and bracelet. In 1846, the Queen was depicted in miniature in an oil portrait by the Austrian artist Ferdinand Krumholtz. After the Queen's death in 1853, the tiara was valued at 2,000 reais and was described as a tiara consisting of 9 removable elements inlaid with a total of 1,415 round-cut diamonds and 5 sapphires of beautiful colour. The appraiser noted that all the larger diamonds were of good quality, clean and well cut. When the Queen's jewels were divided, this item was inherited by Infanta Antonia, 1845–1913, and her sister Maria Anna, 1843–1884. Later, it was reported that the two sisters exchanged some of their mother's jewellery by casting lots. As a result, Maria got the tiara. Maria Anna married the heir to the Saxon throne, Prince George, 1832–1904, in 1859. And at that time tiara went to the Kingdom of Saxony. After the death of Maria Anna, the precious sapphire tiara went to her eldest son, Prince Frederick Augustus, 1865–1932, and then his daughter inherited it, Princess Margarita Carola, 1900–1962. Diamond kokoshnik from Chome, it was made for Grand Duchess Elena Vladimirovna, married Greek and Danish, the only daughter of Grand Duchess Maria Pavlovna of Vladimir. one of the incredibly rich princesses of the Romanov family, who possessed the largest and most perfect collection of jewellery at that time at the royal court. The tiara must have been a wedding gift. The coconut smoothly increases towards the centre and wraps around the head like a disc-shaped halo of a Byzantine Madonna. Branched tendrils fill the diamond-shaped frame with an ornament on top and bottom. Freely suspended diamond droplets can capture and reflect light, while huge diamonds flaunt in diamond swirls. Princess Olga, Eleanor's daughter, first wore the full version of the tiara, but later in 1962, some of the diamonds were removed. Princess Marie-Pia of Savoy, Olga's sister-in-law, wore this tiara on the occasion of the wedding of King Baudouin of Belgium to Fabiola de Mora in 1960. The location of the tiara is unknown. The story of Queen Geraldine Apogni's diamond tiara is an exciting story that interweaves history, jewellery and politics. Created by Marianne Ostier for the Österreicher jewellery house, this tiara has become a symbol of the royal wedding and has survived many historical events. The design of the tiara reflects a unique combination of cultures and traditions. A floral motif and a stylized ram's head not only decorate the tiara, but also carry a deep symbolism. The ram's head, associated with the Albanian royal house and the national hero Skanderbeg, emphasizes royal origin and power. The historical significance of the tiara is enhanced by its journey through time. From the royal wedding to the exile, from the sale to the return to the Albanian royal family, each stage adds new chapters to its history. The fate of tiara after the death of Mamdouh Bobst is also interesting. Its sale at Sotheby's and subsequent purchase by the Crown Prince of Albania, Lech II, adds a romantic touch to the story, linking the past with the present and future of the Albanian royal family. This tiara is not just an ornament, but also a valuable historical artifact that continues to inspire and amaze with its beauty and rich history. Tiara with 9 Prongs by Queen Sofia of Sweden. The Swedish court named the work Tiara of Queen Sofia in reference to the original owner of the tiara, Sophia of Nassau, wife of King Oscar II. The tiara has 528 diamonds and was made for Sophia around 1860, when Sophia became the Swedish crown princess. It is assumed that the tiara could have been created by reconstructing a diamond crest that once belonged to the first Bernadotte king, Charles XIII Johan. Queen Sophia wore a diamond tiara throughout her life, and it became part of the Bernadotte Jewellery Foundation before her death in 1913. Subsequently, the tiara was worn by many other Bernadotte women, despite the difficulties with its actual wearing. Princess Birgitta appeared in a tiara at the wedding of her niece, Crown Princess Victoria, in 2010. She wore the decoration low on her forehead, as Queen Louise did, and apparently tried her best to keep it from falling over her eyes. Tiara, the Great Wave, of the southern house of Boucheron. This decoration was inspired by the Great Wave at Kanagawa, an iconic piece of Japanese art by the artist Hokusai. Japan's influence on fine art in Europe grew rapidly in the late 1800s, when the Meiji Restoration opened the country to the west, and the Boucheron tiara is a perfect example of this inspiration. French jeweler Collot used diamonds as well as stone-free spaces to create an asymmetrical design and the dynamics of crashing waves rising from the base. The use of water as a source of inspiration has led to the appearance of many similar tiaras. But none of them is even close to interpreting motifs with such dynamic movement or exquisite craftsmanship as Boucheron's Great Wave tiara. It is difficult to say whether it is wearable or only a piece of high jewellery, because all that is known about it is information and photos from the archives. There is no evidence that the tiara was exhibited or used anywhere. Her whereabouts are unknown. The story of the tiara of the Marquesses of Angelsey is a tale of splendour and fall, of wealth and waste, of splendour and tragedy. Henry Cyril Paget, the fifth Marquess of Angelsey, was one of the most striking and extravagant characters of his time, and his life was full of contrasts and contradictions. The tiara, dated around 1890, witnessed the luxurious life of the Marquis and his uncontrollable craving for extravagance. Inheriting a huge fortune at a young age opened the doors for Paget to a world where he could realize his wildest fantasies and desires. However, this same passion for luxury and theatricality led him to financial ruin and early death. The sale of the tiara in 2020, 115 years after the death of the Marquess, opens a new chapter in the history of this unique item. As Guy Burton noted, if the tiara had a voice, it could tell incredible stories about its owner and the time in which he lived. The tiara of the Marquesses of Angelsey is not just a jewel. It is a cultural artifact that preserves the history of one of the most unusual and controversial figures of the British aristocracy. Portuguese tiara with stars. This tiara was originally commissioned for Queen Maria Pia of Portugal, wife of King Luís I of Portugal in 1862. The order was ready by 1864. It was made in Lisbon by jeweller Joalheiro Real Esteban de Sousa and consists of diamond stars placed on a movable frame, which makes the stars sensitive to movement. The largest diamond of the tiara is a pink diamond, known as the Maria Pia diamond. A year later, in 1965, Maria Pia ordered a necklace of stars in addition to the tiara. After the death of King D. Louis I, the set passed to the last Queen of Portugal, Amelia of Orleans, wife of King Carlos I. Now the tiara with diamond stars and other royal jewels are in the vault of the National Palace of Ajuda in Lisbon. The photographs of the exhibition date back to the 1950s. Tiara with Stars by Sophie of Sweden. Many of the tiaras worn in Denmark today have a Swedish past. This tiara, made of diamonds, topped with 12 pointed stars alternating with vertical pearl spikes, was originally a wedding gift to Sophia of Nassau from her half-brother Adolf, who later became the Grand Duke of Luxembourg. It is believed that the decoration was made in the 1850s by unknown craftsmen. Although most tiaras of a similar design have removable pearl or star pendants, the pendants in this tiara are non-removable. Sophia married the future King of Sweden and Norway Oscar II in 1857, and the tiara followed her to Sweden some time later, passing to Queen Victoria of Sweden, 1862-1930, Sophia's daughter-in-law. Tiara left Sweden with Swedish Princess Ingrid when she went to Denmark. The daughter of King Gustav VI Adolf and granddaughter of Queen Victoria of Sweden, Ingrid married the future King Frederick IX of Denmark and eventually became Queen Ingrid. When she passed away, the tiara was inherited by her middle daughter, Princess Benedict, a crown made of Prussian clover leaves, made by Sæther, the Koch house in 1906. This striking clover and shamrock tiara was designed by one of the members of the royal family, who, in fact, was not known for his interest in the aesthetics of jewellery, Kaiser Wilhelm II. He ordered a shamrock crown as a 25th wedding anniversary gift to his wife, Empress Augusta Victoria. After the family was exiled to the Netherlands after the First World War, they managed to keep this item in their collection. In photo number 4, Princess Kira of Prussia, Kira Kirillovna Romanova, wife of Louis Ferdinand of Prussia, grandson of Augusta Victoria, wears a crown in April 1956 in Munich during the wedding celebrations of Archduke Ferdinand Karl of Austria and Countess Helene de Thering-Jettenbach. However, in the following decades, the tiara was changed. It was disassembled into 2 parts and 2 small independent tiaras were created. In its current form, the crown with clover leaves is exhibited at various museum exhibitions. Tiara Rutland. This intricate floral tiara with gold carnations and diamond leaves has been owned by the family of the Dukes of Rutland since the 18th century, starting with the 7th Duke of Rutland, and is inherited to this day. The tiara was last seen at the wedding of Lady Teresa Manners, daughter of Francis and the 10th Duke, in 1997. There are no photos of the 11th Duchess Emma Manners wearing a tiara, but if the decoration is still in the Manners family, then there is a chance that the tiara will be released again at the next British coronation. The Rutland tiara is a truly magnificent historical artifact that is part of the rich history of the Rutland Dukes family. This decoration symbolizes traditions and heritage that are passed down from generation to generation, and every time it appears in public, this event becomes part of history. The golden carnations and diamond leaves of the tiara reflect the craftsmanship and sophistication of the jewellery art of the 18th century. The fact that the tiara is inherited and remains in the family for so many years speaks to a deep respect for family heirlooms and a desire to keep in touch with the past. The tiara of the Countess of Bessborough. This tiara was created in platinum by Marcel Chaumet in 1931 for Roberta Ponsonby, Countess of Bessborough. It was a gift from her husband Vera Ponsonby, 9th Earl of Bessborough, on the occasion of his appointment as Governor-General of Canada. The tiara of the Countess of Bessborough was made by Marcel Chaumet in 1931 by order of the 9th Earl of Bessborough. The decoration was intended for Roberta Ponsonby, Countess of Bessborough, on the occasion of her husband's appointment as Governor-General of Canada. The design of the tiara is made in the Art Deco style and features an intricate floral motif. Lady Bessborough used the decoration for both official events in Canada and social events in the UK, including the coronations of King George VI in 1937 and Queen Elizabeth II in 1953. After the Countess's death in 1979, the tiara remained in the Bessborough family. The story of the Essex tiara is a fascinating tale of beauty, tragedy, and survival. Created by the great Cartier jewellery house in 1902, this tiara has become a symbol of elegance and status for Adele Capel, Countess of Essex. Her story reflects the ups and downs of aristocratic life in the early 20th century. Adele Capel was known for her grace and beauty, and her tiara only emphasized her status in high society. The tragic death of her husband and subsequent financial difficulties forced her to sell many family valuables, including a tiara. Her own demise soon after adds a sad note to tiara's story. Despite this, the tiara continued to live its life, changing owners and participating in significant events such as the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II in 1953. Her presence at such a historic event highlights her importance as a piece of jewellery. The sale of the tiara at Christie's auction in 1990 and its subsequent return to Cartier indicate that it remains a coveted and valuable item. Its use in modern photo shoots and weddings, as in the case of Rihanna, shows that the tiara is still an object of admiration and inspiration. Crown with Persian stones of Queen Victoria. On August 30th, 1838, an envoy from the ruler of Muscat, Said, presented Queen Victoria with several gifts to commemorate her coronation 2 months earlier. The crown consists of 12 gold panels in a gold frame, the outer edges of which are inlaid with large rubies surrounded by diamonds. The reverse side is decorated with the figure of a young woman in Persian clothes, the figure of a young man in a Regency costume, floral motifs and nightingales. Queen Victoria commissioned London jewellers, Kitching and Aboud, to include in the design pearls borrowed from 2 pearl necklaces, which were also part of Sayed's gift in 1838. When Queen Victoria died in 1901, she left this tiara to her daughter-in-law, Princess Helena, Duchess of Albany. The Duchess died in 1922, and the tiara was probably inherited by her daughter, Princess Alice, Countess of Athlone. According to some reports, Queen Mary purchased this piece of jewellery from Princess Alice, who was her daughter-in-law, and in 1924 placed it in the Indian Room of Buckingham Palace. The tiara has never been worn in public. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and like it. Thanks.